Today we are taking a look at Mutsuki from Blue Archive. This is the Yumemirize figure by SEGA. Blue Archive is a school-based RPG centered on different academies, student groups, and a large cast of characters with very distinct personalities. Within that cast, Mutsuki stands out as a student known for her mischievous personality and playful attitude. She brings a teasing kind of charm to the series, and that strong character presence makes her very easy to remember. Today's highlights for this figure are the smiling expression, the original dress, and the pose that emphasizes the legs. The first highlight is the smiling expression. The mouth does not open widely, and the smile is created mostly by the slight lift at the corners, so it feels controlled rather than overly cheerful. That works very well with the narrow eyes and the forward gaze, giving the face a teasing mood without losing clarity. The second highlight is the original dress. The off-shoulder neckline, the black trim, the side lacing, and the change in pink tones across the torso give the outfit a clearly layered layout instead of a simple one-piece shape. The skirt also changes depending on the area, lifting near the legs and spreading near the floor, so the dress itself becomes one of the main visual attractions. The third highlight is the pose that emphasizes the legs. One leg extends far forward in a long, uninterrupted line, while the other is raised closer to the body, so the pose creates a very clear contrast between length and compression. Because the face and arms gather around the raised leg, the extended leg becomes even more noticeable and gives the whole figure a strong lower body presentation. This channel brings you figure reviews and anime merchandise updates straight from Japan. If you enjoyed this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe. The head is built around a pose where the face is brought close to the raised leg, while the gaze is turned back toward the front. The first impression comes from the narrow eyes and the small smile. The eyes keep a long horizontal shape, and the upper eyelid lines extend sharply toward the outer ends, so the expression still has firmness, even inside a gentle smile. The irises remain clearly visible in a pale tone under those strong upper lines, which keeps the gaze from feeling soft or unfocused. The mouth does not open broadly. Instead, the smile is made with a thin upward curve at the corners, so the expression stays quiet and controlled. That choice lets the teasing mood come through without disturbing the slim line of the cheeks and chin. The nose also stays very restrained. It rises only slightly from the plane running down from the eyes to the mouth, so it settles naturally into the narrow overall face shape. The chin is kept small and neat, narrowing down from the cheeks instead of ending in a round, heavy shape, which helps the smile stay elegant rather than overly cute. The hair supports that expression very well. A large section of bangs flows diagonally from the top of the forehead across the center of the face and down over the area above the eyes. That front section is not just one flat mass because thinner strands are layered beneath the main section, creating a stepped thickness from the forehead into the eye area. A separate strand drops in front of the ear and runs down along the outside of the cheek, so the face is framed once by the skin line and again by the hairline. Across the top and back of the head, the hair gathers toward the rear, where a large ribbon is inserted at the tie point. From that tied section, the back hair falls in long bundled lengths. Near the tied area, one strand loops outward in a large curve, while the main trailing section continues down the back and splits into several pointed ends close to the floor. From the rear view, the width of the hair changes along the way instead of staying uniform, and the ends do not stop at the same point. Because of that, the back hair does not read as one heavy block. It reads as a flowing mass that separates into several strands and keeps movement all the way to the tips. The upper body leans slightly forward toward the legs, and that posture flows directly into the wide neckline of the dress. The top edge is arranged as an off-shoulder opening with a soft wave across the upper chest, and a thin black trim follows that line clearly, so the boundary between the skin and the dress reads right away. Short sleeves sit at the outer tops of the arms and add a small rounded volume at the shoulders before narrowing back into the upper arms. The same black trim appears again at the sleeve edges, which helps keep the outline of the upper body neat and consistent. The bodice changes from a lighter pink into a deeper tone as it moves down toward the waist, and that shift helps define both the chest shape and the narrowing of the torso. The front remains broad and smooth, while the side introduces a different structure through black lacing. That laced section separates the front and side areas instead of letting the torso read as one flat, continuous surface. A thin black band circles the waist and clearly marks the point where the upper body ends and the skirt begins. The arm placement adds even more to the presentation. One arm passes across the front of the body and rests the hand lightly along the shin of the raised leg. The fingers hang down in a relaxed way, so the hand overlaps the leg without interrupting its line. The other arm wraps around the far side of the raised leg, with only the fingertips appearing near the upper part of the knee. That arrangement gathers the chest, the arms, and the leg into one compact area, making the upper body feel naturally settled into the seated pose. The lower body is built around two very different leg lines. One leg extends far forward, while the other is raised high close to the body, creating a strong contrast between a long outward line and a compressed inward one. The extended leg runs smoothly from the upper thigh through the knee and shin to the ankle, without the knee becoming too sharp, so the line stays clean all the way to the foot. The raised leg pulls the knee into the center of the composition, and because the arm crosses in front of it and the face is placed close above it, that leg becomes the point where much of the upper body information gathers. This makes the outward leg feel even longer by comparison. Around the top of the thighs, the dress lifts upward and opens a broad area of skin, while the fabric falls along the outside, so the boundary between the leg and the skirt rises near the hip and then drops again toward the hem. The skirt changes depending on the area instead of spreading evenly. At the front, it is pushed upward by the legs. At the outer sides, it falls naturally. At the back, it spreads farther and runs lower along the floor. The hem is shaped with small waves rather than a straight cut, which keeps movement in the outline. Across the pink surface, floral motifs made of layered petal outlines are scattered at different heights, so the broad skirt area never feels empty and the decoration follows the fabric instead of sitting apart from it. The shoes complete the lower body cleanly. Both feet wear rounded pumps with shallow openings, leaving much of the top of the foot visible. A small black ribbon sits on each toe, and a thin, ring-like element circles each ankle as a separate part, creating a clear break between the leg line and the shoe below. The heels are short and thick, so the shoes finish the pose neatly without making the feet feel too sharp. The 2 feet also point in slightly different directions, helping one act as the end of the long outward sweep while the other supports the folded side of the seated pose. This figure is approximately 12 centimeters tall. That's about 4.7 inches. For size comparison, here's a 350 milliliter can. That's about 12 ounces in the US. Overall, Mutsuki by SEGA stands out because this figure combines a teasing smile, an original dress with clear layout changes, and a seated pose that strongly emphasizes the legs. The face leaves a clear first impression. The narrow eyes and the small smile create a quiet, playful expression, while the strong upper eyelid lines keep the gaze sharp. The expression feels light, but it still has enough focus to avoid looking overly soft. The diagonal bangs frame the face well, and the large ribbon with the long trailing hair gives the back view a smooth sense of flow. The upper body works well because the pose and outfit support each other naturally. The torso leans forward into the seated pose, and the arms wrap around the raised leg in a way that keeps the upper half compact and controlled. That compact arrangement helps the figure feel intentionally composed rather than simply folded inward. The off-shoulder neckline opens the chest clearly, and the black trim makes that boundary easy to read. The bodice shifts from a lighter pink into a deeper tone toward the waist, and the black side lacing helps separate the front and side sections cleanly. The lower body gives the figure much of its appeal. One leg extends far forward in a long, clean line, while the other stays close to the body and gathers the face and arms around it. That contrast gives the composition a strong visual pull. The skirt changes shape effectively, lifting near the thighs, falling at the sides, and spreading farther near the back and floor. The floral motifs help break up the wide pink surfaces, and the rounded pumps, small toe ribbons, and ring-like ankle parts finish the leg line neatly. Those details keep the lower half from feeling too plain, even though the overall pose is simple and easy to read. What makes the figure especially effective is the way the eye moves through it. The view starts around the face and raised leg, then travels through the torso and down into the extended leg. Even though the pose is low and seated, it still feels lively and controlled. The balance between the compact upper body and the long outward leg helps the whole silhouette stay very readable. Because of that, fans of Blue Archive or Mutsuki will definitely enjoy this piece. With its teasing expression, clearly arranged original dress, and leg-focused seated pose, this is a very satisfying compact figure. That's it for this video. If there's any part of the figure you liked, feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.